You've been throwing every extra dollar at your debt for months, cutting back, saying no to things, doing everything the advice tells you to do. And yet somehow, you still feel stuck. Meanwhile, your coworker seems to be paying off the same amount of debt while also building savings, and you can't figure out how. Here's the uncomfortable truth. It's not about how hard you're working at it. It's about the order you're doing things in, and most people have it slightly wrong. The common advice says pay off all your debt before you do anything else with your money. Sounds responsible. But followed too rigidly, that single rule can actually cost you thousands of dollars over your lifetime. There's one major exception that most people skip right past, and it changes everything. Let's walk through the real order, step by step. First, before touching any debt, get a tiny emergency cushion in place. Not a full 6 months of expenses, just enough to cover a small disaster. Somewhere around $500 to $1,000. Without this, one flat tire sends you right back into more debt, undoing all your progress in a single afternoon. Second, and this is the step almost everyone gets backwards, if your employer offers any kind of matching contribution on a retirement account, contribute enough to get the full match before you aggressively attack your debt. Here's why. Employer matching is essentially a guaranteed boost to your money, doubling your contribution instantly. Even if your credit card is charging you a 22% interest rate, 100% instant return from your employer beats that every single time, because nothing else in personal finance guarantees a return like that. Skipping this step to pay debt faster means leaving free money on the table that your employer was ready to hand you. Third, now it's time to attack your high-interest debt directly. Anything charging more than around 8% interest, which usually means credit cards, needs your full aggressive focus here. List every debt with its interest rate. Pay the minimum on everything except the highest interest one. Throw every extra dollar at that single debt until it's gone, then move to the next highest rate. This is called the avalanche method, not the snowball method you might have heard of. The snowball method has you pay smallest balances first for motivation. The avalanche method targets highest interest first for math. And mathematically, avalanche saves you the most money over time. Here's a quick example of why order matters so much. Say you have $5,000 in credit card debt at 22% interest, and your employer offers a 100% match on retirement contributions up to $3,000 a year. If you ignore the match and throw everything at debt first, you save on interest, sure, but you permanently lose out on that guaranteed employer money for this year. That's real money gone forever, not delayed. Meanwhile, contributing just enough to get the match, then attacking your debt, costs you barely any extra time paying off the balance, while banking free money you'd never get back otherwise. Fourth, once your high-interest debt is fully paid off, only then should you shift toward lower-interest debt like student loans or a mortgage, while simultaneously building a full emergency fund and increasing your retirement contributions. Debt under about 6 or 7% isn't urgent in the same way. You have room to be more balanced here instead of throwing every dollar at it. The reason this order matters so much isn't really about willpower or discipline. Most people struggling with debt aren't lazy or careless. They're just following a rule that's slightly too simple for a situation that has one important exception built into it. Skipping the emergency cushion step keeps pulling you back into debt. Skipping the employer match step means working just as hard for meaningfully less money. Getting the order right doesn't require more discipline than you already have. It just means directing that same discipline in a smarter sequence, If you've been paying off debt for a while and still feel stuck, don't assume you're doing something wrong. Check the order first. That one shift might be the difference you've been looking for. If this helped you see your debt payoff plan differently, hit subscribe. Penny's got a lot more of these step-by-step breakdowns coming.